Welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. Here we are, Wednesday again. We've been doing this now consecutive for, I don't know, a long time, I feel. I haven't missed a Wednesday in 30 years. For those of you who have been watching my show or subscribing, I thank you. This has been the most successful month in my YouTube tenure. We've started this thing, can't remember, December 31st. It was New Year's Eve, and I'm going to say maybe 21, 22. I don't know. I feel like we've been doing this for 2.5 years, maybe. Anyway, in that time, the show has grown and taken different directions. Originally, I wanted to do a show that was going to be more interesting things that I see in my life, locations of famous things. And I actually filmed a ton of those, recorded a ton of those videos that I'm just sitting on, because what happened is the interviews took off so much that the algorithm decided that would be the direction of the show. And it seems like you guys wanted to see more of that. So I went with interviews, which is what I went to school to do back in the day. And that went well. And then I decided I'm going to sneak in some other kind of content and see if I can fool the almighty algorithm. And so far we have. The tour diaries have been overwhelmingly successful. It's crazy how many people have enjoyed seeing my silly travels. I wish there was time to show you more interesting things. Some people get tired of it. And that's fine. It's not for everybody, especially people who are simple-minded. But I will tell you that I hear a lot of people saying about me booking hotels. I don't book those hotels. Promoters book those hotels, and you get what you get. A lot of times when you're in a city, they don't have a 4-star hotel. You're lucky to get something that has electricity. So anyway, that's just a thought that came to my mind. There's certain days I feel like the whole world has lost their mind. Today is one of those days. You know, I don't know how many of you guys are on the Facebook or the Instagram, the social media that the kids do. But you can see there's this obsession right now with these people in the visiting the Titanic. I feel silly just even talking about this, but it is the biggest story in the world. 5 people decided that they were going to get in some untested, rickety submarine. I'm sure you've already heard this. It's the size of a minivan. They have to sit cross-legged. And then they're going to go down to a depth which no one has ever gone to in this type of device. And it's way down there. A lot of people on Facebook are getting upset. They don't want to see any memes making fun of it. These are humans. This is life, blah, blah, blah. It's 5 people. Sad, but it's 5 people. We're these same big mouths, housewives, whatever, when there's a war in the Ukraine or all these other things. There's plenty of things going on where people are dying constantly, and it's very sad. It's a sad world. Most of those people wouldn't know what a Juneteenth stood for or anything else, but the news has told you that this Titanic thing is major. And because there was a Titanic movie, we're suddenly riveted. And now everyone is sitting in front of their TVs waiting to find out that these idiots died. They're dead. They probably died when that thing lost connection. The odd thing about it is this submarine, if you would even call it that, it goes down for an hour or whatever, they lose connection. Then they wait 8 hours to report it. Well, what do you think was going to happen? So most experts in diving, real experts, not me, they say that these people probably, blew up, if to use a nice term. But I know there's also people who are thinking that they're just sitting there at the bottom of the ocean in this little minivan, sitting there talking. Could you imagine the conversation you have when you're there basically waiting to die? That part kind of tripped me out a little bit. And I thought, wow, can you imagine just sitting there? It's pitch black, by the way. There's no light. The sun doesn't reach the bottom of the Titanic. And, and then the ghosts of the Titanic, these folks are laughing. Like, look at this, we got company. But so people say you shouldn't make fun of it. Don't make fun of it. These are human people. It's a father and son. Listen, I don't have $250,000. I don't care if they gave me $250,000. I'm not going to get in that stupid thing. It's dumb. And if you want to make fun of it, go right ahead. I mean, come on. People have too much money on their hands. If this is what you're doing with your money, you deserve to be made fun of. And you know what? This is what happens when you do stupid shit. Maybe people need to have less money. You know what I mean? So that's what's going on in the world, and people are fighting about it, and people are glued to their TVs because they think it's Gilligan's Island. They think they're going to be rescued. It's not. It's not going to happen. And you got to think about all the manpower, woman power, people power that is going into rescuing these jackasses who are probably dead. It seems like a waste of resources. But anyway, probably people will hate me for saying that, and that's okay. I've come to sort of enjoy hatred. Last week, people told me they thought I seemed a little angry or a little out of it, or I can't remember the words. But I got a few messages saying that they were concerned about me. So we're going to talk about all that concern right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody out there to waste time with you. I've been doing the show now, as we said, 2 years, 2.5 years, and people always suggest guests, and sometimes I think it's a bad idea. And somebody told me, you got to have Monaco on the show. And I said, I don't know, Monaco. I don't like people with one name, Cher, Madonna, Monaco. I was like, oh, you mean the guy who's in the fake Enough's Enough? Whatever. Now, I knew that Johnny, that's his first name, I knew he was a talented guy, but I also thought, well, what are we going to talk about? You're not Donnie V, but you're the guy. And then I realized I knew he was talented, but then I realized I listened to some of Johnny's solo music, which is really good. His Enough's Enough music is great too. And if you see what Enough's Enough is like now, you would be longing to have Johnny back in that band. It's a complete shit show now. Anyway, so I said, you know what? And I saw an interview with Johnny, and I thought he was really funny. I said, I'm going to have him on. Why not? I'm going to try it. And we did an interview, and Johnny was actually pretty serious. You can watch it on this channel. About 10,000 people already have. And Johnny told me, I figured people were actually watching this. I'm going to talk about music and my career and those things. And he didn't really, he wasn't all that silly. But I liked him, and I thought he was very good, and I thought he had a lot to say. And what happened is I was supposed to do a live interview, and the person backed out at the last second. I needed a co-host, if you will. I used to watch David Letterman when I was a kid, and every now and then, or Regis Philbin, but they would have a co-host, and usually be Tony Randall or Regis, someone who lived in New York. Regis would go on Letterman, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I have try Johnny as like a co-host? We went on at 10 in the morning. We hardly knew each other. And we talked for about 3 hours, and I thought it was really funny. I thought we had some chemistry, and I thought he was entertaining. And so from there, I thought, well, let's do other things. For me to just sit here and talk to this inanimate object known as a cell phone in my living room is awkward. So it would be nice if I have someone else to talk to who I find to be funny and interesting. At the end of the day, would Johnny want to do interviews with people? Probably not. And that's why we keep the things sort of separated. But I like Johnny's insight on things and all that jazz. So anyway, after that, Johnny started coming on Wednesdays and doing the live show with me. And we did a lot of them. But people watching sort of thought that it was suddenly, the Jason and Johnny variety hour, which I'm okay when it is. But Johnny, unlike me, has a life and has another career. This is what I do. But Johnny has to go and play gigs and do other things. And so he is not always able to be here, but he's tried to be there remote and things like that when he can. But it's strange what happens because drama and gossip starts to happen. And I'm not sure exactly why. People will go, "Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny?" And which is nice. I'm glad that people enjoy Johnny as much as I do. But it gets to the point where if you haven't realized that he's not always going to be here, um, I know that people are invested in my life and Johnny's life. They want to know what's going on with the upstairs neighbor who suddenly showed up on an episode and went into the bathroom with Johnny while he was recording. Well, these are things I know that you're interested in, but Johnny couldn't always be here. Then suddenly people start to panic. Well, maybe Johnny's out of Steven's band. Most of them say RATT. Most people say he's not in RATT. And then the conspiracy theories come. Warren DeMartini must be coming back because that's why Johnny's going to no longer be the band. Well, I just couldn't understand what's wrong with Johnny, right? Well, nothing. And if you've watched my show, you know that I often talk about things that Johnny and I do in our own lives. So you know that Johnny's still around. And then if you watch the tour diaries, you see Johnny's there. We're still on tour. But then a funny thing happened. There was a post that sort of it broke the internet, if you will, a post regarding guitars. I have a habit of dating people who are a little bit younger than me. And once a long time ago, I had this girlfriend, and I used to call her the Riddler because she liked to do what I call a look at me post. But she didn't exactly say what's wrong. It was always very cryptic. You needed a decoder ring to solve it. And they were kind of looking for attention in some way. Now, I'm not saying that's what Johnny did. We'll ask Johnny what happened. Maybe there was just a typo. And Johnny's been going through some things. I don't know what he's going to talk about or not, but he's got some things going on in his life, and he's been busy and things like that. So this post comes out, and the post says, "I'm selling all my guitars," with an S on the end. All of them, all guitars. The title of this video addresses that issue. Some people are saying I'm offering clickbait. This is not fair to say because I put, "Is Johnny selling all his guitars?" Question mark, which is what he said he was doing. Is Johnny looking for another profession? Well, he often says, "I've got to get out of here. I got to stopped. I got to do something else." Now, he says that every day. There are also people who then decided that you guys said it. Maybe Johnny's quitting to become a barber. Maybe Johnny's got another gig. Maybe Johnny's not. Who knows? But you guys are thinking way too much. I appreciate that everyone watches, but I think everybody, right now, over 300 people, are invested. You might be too invested in the world of this show. My mother, she likes to speculate on everything. My mother has a theory on things. Well, what about Johnny? What's going on with Johnny? Is Johnny okay? And I tell her to get a life, which I would say to a lot of you, because I get people who are messaging me. Is Johnny okay? Did Johnny lose his gig? I'm really worried about Johnny. Everyone seems to think Johnny is on the ledge of his palatial estate high above the sky. And so I'm half asleep. Maybe it was Sunday, and I wake up and everyone's texting and people are calling. Is Johnny okay? He's not answering his messages. He's not answering his phone. I go, oh my God, but I just saw the guy. But I called Johnny and Johnny was fine. So I didn't feel the need to get involved in answering Johnny's post. Johnny's here. He can answer his posts and explain to us what is happening. Well, let's just take a look before Johnny gets here at some of the comments and some of the speculation. I'm a little curious what you guys are saying. Don't read this, says Johnny is the best. I agree. Denise thinks it's selfish that Johnny would take away his gift from us. Scarlett says she doesn't believe it. Well, he said it. We have to see. Snuggles Lulu. If you ever saw The Honeymooners, you know the episode with Lulu. Snuggles Lulu says he's just selling off some. He told me Snuggles got an actual personal message from Johnny Monaco. Maybe it was his secretary. It's big deal. Clickbait. Shame on you, Jason. Shame on me. Johnny's the one who posted, I'm selling all my guitars, right? Someone else, Skylar, who may be a little smarter, said Johnny's returning his guitars, Guitar Center. JB is interested in voting in Johnny in 2024. Paolo Vincent, another brain surgeon. No way Johnny's quitting. Clickbait with a question mark, though, so I give him that. Then he said it again without the question mark. Chris says, poor Johnny, disillusioned by the music business. Nah, I just doesn't use the guitar as much. Maybe he will buy a Les Paul custom. I don't see that happening. Chris, thank you for the super chat, though. Chris also had to go to bed. He's going to watch this unfold tomorrow. In entertainment, there's always been classic duos. For us music enthusiasts, excuse me, for those music enthusiasts, I believe this is ours. Well, I appreciate that, and I like that you like that. Hello to Jason and Johnny. Okay, that's nice. Anyway, some people are happy to see the J&J back. They've given us a name. How wonderful. Scott is welcoming Johnny back. And anyway, a lot of people are relating, but some people are still upset, and a lot of people are nervous. Sean says, you did go to school for this. Yeah, I went to school to chat with Johnny Monaco about selling his guitars. That is correct. Johnny Rocks, do not quit. Johnny Rocks was actually the guitar player in my band, the Sin City Rejects, but I think he might have meant something different. Okay, so, okay. Can't answer everything. There's just so many questions and comments. We've discussed 50 things already. And I know really you guys are waiting to see Johnny. You're waiting and hoping. And yes, some people are concerned that maybe Johnny won't have a good angle. I know a lot of people think, well, I've heard Johnny say he doesn't have a good angle. Could Johnny have his album, She Said She Found Her Soulmate, ready before he retires? I don't know. Okay. Just going to get through these and then we'll welcome him. Remember, Johnny dressed up like a girl in 2001. Okay. Maybe he's selling all of them to buy a new one, an expensive one. Maybe Johnny's going on the Burning Witches tour. I don't think that relationship lasted, but and then some other stupid comments. Terry, is Johnny working construction or Home Depot? Now we're insulting Johnny. Is that what we're doing? Sometimes people think that you guys, if you guys think that Johnny needs to take another job, I mean, you've never heard us playing. I mean, Johnny's a talented guy and in demand, and I don't think he would settle for just a shit job. I don't think Johnny's going to be working at the gas station or anywhere else. Golden Robot, who the fuck knows? Who knows? Who knows? I told you I didn't think anyone was good. Everything I heard sucked, except a couple. There was 2 good ones. One day we'll announce it. I don't know if Golden Robot's in business. Golden Robot, if you're watching, you tell me. I don't even know. Johnny is talented and a great musician. Listen, without further ado, we've talked enough. Here he is, the man of the hour, Johnny Monaco. Johnny.
Hello.
How are you, Johnny? I see you've got a guitar there.
I do. That was a good intro.
Oh, thank you. Is that one for sale?
Nope. Oh, wait. Everything must go. No, I have to keep this one because it's very light.
All right. Is that is that a newer one?
No, this is an old. This is there's a story with this one actually.
Are you talking to your AirPods?
Yeah.
They sound great.
Isn't that something? This new tech. I'm changing everything. Out with the old, in with the new stuff. This is wireless. And I can't hear anything. I can hear exactly what I need to hear, and that's it.
Yeah, but you can hear me talking to you, right?
Oh, it sounds great.
When you hold your guitar like that, you remind me a little bit of John 5.
Because he has the Telecaster.
Well, and he plays it too high. You don't have a strap.
I was holding it because I have a strap.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. There's a story with this guitar. Do you want to hear the story first, or?
Of course.
So this was an '80s. I always play these Squires because I just like them. People, make fun of them.
This one right there.
First of all, can we block a couple people immediately? Is that okay?
Already?
Yeah.
All right. Well, who do you have in mind?
Ray P. Block him.
You can't say that. What is it?
No, Ray P.
Is that a name or
not Ray P? No, this isn't the rainbow and a faster pussycat. No, just block him immediately.
But all he said so far. Oh, here he is. Okay, yeah. So let's give him a timeout. Maybe he'll feel better. Okay.
No, there's other stuff. And then someone said they didn't like the way you talk to people.
Me?
Yeah, find him and block him.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What did he say? What's his name?
I don't know. Now I got to go back in here and look at all this.
Man, he just blocked himself. I hate people who, if you come to this show, what about the one who says they want to have sex with Monaco?
Let's see. There's someone in here that says, why can't I hear myself in my monitor? That's weird. Something about he doesn't like the way you talk to your fans. You're disrespectful. So find that one and block.
Find that. Hey, listen, idiot. Can you, not Johnny, the person who said it, could you just identify yourself, please? So tell me.
Can everybody just pick who we should block and we'll do it? Because
that is a great idea. A democracy. Right. And again, if you have something to say and you're an asshole, please say it now so we can get it out of the way.
Yeah. Right. And then immediately after that, shut up, stupid ass. Okay, so the story with that guitar is it's a Squire from the '80s, and
hold on, Johnny. I'm sorry. Okay. Quiet Piper said I said it. Quiet Sandpiper. I'm going to give you the floor for a minute. What don't you like? What are you sad about? You think that I'm
said what?
I don't know.
No,
it's not him.
Now I got to do all this. I got to go back and look at all these people.
That's all right. They'll identify themselves. This one here, I got no Mike 71. He says he's an asshole and he would like to be blocked.
All right, well then do it.
I'm just sad today.
If I could actually put people at the bottom of the ocean, I would.
Well, hold on. The irrelevant fan says 8E, I can't spell it wrong, was me, Jason, Johnny, and Jizzy suck. What did Jizzy?
All right. Well, then block him.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think these people are kind of fun. I think the dumber they are.
I think they need more than that. How do we get them to come here to the basement?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What? Listen, for those of you watching, Johnny and I invested in a submarine, and we want to take you guys with us.
I heard about the submarine. From what I understand, they were given an option, and they opted to take the submarine rather to go to the Glam Slam Metal Tour.
That's a tough choice, Johnny. You bring it up. We're going to get to that Squire guitar. We're going to get to your big statement about selling all your guitars and possibly retiring because, as many people said, you got rid of your tour dates, which means you are no longer touring. We're going to get to that, Johnny, though. First of all, a lovely super chat, super sticker, if you will. This is Rebel from the Wasteland. Jason and Johnny, what was your first couple skate song? Who was she or he?
You're not talking about us, right?
I don't think. First, I thought maybe, but they paid so they could say it. But no, I think they mean when we first started dating.
Not
each other. No, not each other. I meant other people.
I don't remember a lot of things past like 2 months ago, but I think I do remember going to the roller skating rink. My dad, he was great.
It was that band Pilot, and the song was Magic, right?
Stuff that was the era. Yes, he would take us in the Monte Carlo. We would drive there, and he would drop us off, and we would do our thing, and he'd pick us up. I remember one time pulling out of there. He's like, "Hang on!" He pulls out of the parking lot. It's a median like this big, like get going. My head hit the ceiling 4 times. We're like, "Dad!" And he went over the median, and we continued to go. He's like, "Whoa!" And that's mainly what I remember from going to the roller rink. And I can't go anymore because just too old and not the right race. But I think going to a roller rink was really fun until you fall.
For me, I think it was One Direction was the song. I think I don't know. It wasn't that long ago.
It was it would be a '70s song. It would be like something from back then, like one of those songs from back then, "Baby Come Back" or something like that.
Yeah. I went to a roller skating rink. I've told this story on the show. It was in the Bronx, and J-Lo would be there all the time. It was called Skate Key, and it's very famous. And it was where a lot of the hip hop scene began. Run DMC and the LL Cool J and those things. But J-Lo was a young. I mean, she's a little older than me, I believe, but she would be there skating with that big ass.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Anyway, I hope we answered the question the way you wanted. Because yes,
and if one more person says one more thing, you're blocked, and not because like, oh, you're just this guy on the internet who could just block us, because we really don't like you, and you will be blocked immediately, and you cannot buy any of my guitars.
Yeah,
all of them.
All of them. There are a lot. There's 405 people watching right now. Johnny, you should disappear for a month more often. People are so excited that you're here, and they're hanging on the edge of their seat, waiting to hear the story about that Squire. So, Johnny, continue. I'm sorry to cut
That's right. Okay, no. So the Squire story is, this Squire used to be from the '80s. It was a heavy one, like a good one, because sometimes people associate Squire with like poor quality, but back then they made them really good. And it was kind of a heavy guitar, and it was my mechanic friend, who would always work on my cars, and I was over there. I'm like, that guitar, I like it. I don't like Telecasters too much, but I like that one. So at the end of one of the Gunzo tours, that would be Tracy Guns and Rudy Sarzo, and they had a singer in the band that actually is now writing the Rock Vault, who didn't realize I was in the band at the time and thought I worked at the club, and asked me to bring him some tea, which I did. And I even brought him the sugar and the lemon. So, but anyways, at the end of that show, Tracy Guns was like, "You know what? I love playing with you so much. You sound so great out of that amp," because we were using the same back line. It was a Dimebag Darrell amp. He goes, "I'm going to give you this amp." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, just take it." I'm like, "How am I going to get home?" He goes, "Well, I want you to have it." So he gave me this amp. I'm dragging that thing around forever. And then it sat in my garage for about 6 months, and I'm like, I don't even use it. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but I didn't use it. And then I liked that Telecaster, so I traded his amp for the Telecaster, but it was too heavy, so I swapped the body out on it because I thought red would look cool, and it's called Guitar Fetish. It's like an aftermarket company, so it's super light. It's made out of Paulino wood, which I'm pretty sure my ankles are made out of those. And if you put the wood with that, makes it real light, and it's kind of a twangy sound. It's got EMGs in it. So that's the story behind that guitar. And I'm not selling it only because I like to play it, and I may need it for something. And it's probably not worth a lot of money, but to the right person, I think it would be worth something.
Johnny, I worked with this guy. His name is Bob Blotzer, and he said he wanted to play an entire record, start to finish. And then he thought about it, and he says, we'll skip that one. Well, you can't say you're playing it from start to finish if you don't do them all. So what alarms me, Johnny, is that you want to, originally you said you were going to sell all of your guitars. Now, Johnny, what's going on in your life? What has been happening to you? Johnny, you went to a punk rock museum without me, and somehow you went to see Buck Cherry, Johnny. I mean, that's one of the worst bands ever. And so I don't know what was happening to you. And then we thank God we had a nice birthday party for you in the parking lot of a pizza place. But so Johnny, what is going on? And it seems like you're having a midlife crisis. 10 years past your midlife. Okay, so
I
what's going on, Johnny?
I really do want to sell all my guitars except for two and a half.
So
I don't
all
really
was
count
not
comes.
necessarily all.
Well, at the time I meant just like I just need different stuff. I was a little fed up with things. And I had a bit of a girlfriend hiccup, and I just I was a little disappointed, and
Mhm.
but it wasn't like I was quitting everything and leaving the business and whatever this is. I really just wanted some different guitars, and I just was kind of like mad at the time, and I have other stuff I want to sell too. That TV, $40. But I just really
I
want.
heard you were driving around town in a white Bronco. I'm not sure what that means.
All right. But, you know, I just really do wanna get some different guitars and everyone keeps asking me about the red guitar. First of all, if you refer to it as the wrong color or you don't deserve the guitar. You're not getting that one. It's Road Flare red. It's not other stuff. So right away, you know, if that's the case, go buy another one somewhere else. You're not getting this one because that's an original, and you could tell because the headstock is different color than the guitar. So I actually like that guitar and I use that guitar. I said what I'm not using. I have three of those. One of them is in Aunt Marge's basement. The other one I gave to my guitar tech in Chicago so we could fix it after somebody out here ruined it.
Does Aunt
And
Marge go down to the basement and rock out?
no, she does not go down to the basement. And I so I just have the one that I use, and I see a lot of pictures of the same guitar over and over again. So I thought I would mix it up and maybe get something else. I like Les Pauls. I've heard this from people, but it's not really the guitar that I would need for this gig. And also they're fairly heavy and I just can't with that. So I would like to just get some different guitars. That's not for
Okay, hold,
sale.
hold, all right, hold on, Johnny. So Johnny was the last 3 or 4 Wednesdays. For the most part, Johnny was on gigs. He works, he plays
Yeah.
music, and
Yeah.
then he had some company, and he had some
Hmm.
other things, and
Hmm.
then for Johnny was out and about, and he did not want to do the show from his car because he did not like the angles.
That's
It's
right.
hard to do business while I'm sitting there poking you at you the whole time, insulting you and things like that. So anyway, but Johnny had things to do, as I've pointed out. Never once did I tell any of you that Johnny was quitting or anything like that, and neither did Johnny. But people panicked, and so Johnny's post may have been taken slightly out of context. Johnny, it
Mm.
got out of hand. People saw that you were selling all your guitars and they assumed that you were going to move in a van down by the river. That was
I
not the case.
Real disrespectful. I know I saw that, and because it was so crazy and everybody was messaging me and texting me, you know, "You okay?" I can't with that. And, this is water. It comes in a jug. And I just I had to take it down because you know, maybe I should have phrased it differently, but I really did mean I'm selling these guitars. We'll get to those, but they're over there.
Yeah. Listen,
And
before the end of this show, someone's taking home one of Johnny's guitars, two of them, or maybe all. But
it's possible.
let's see. I'm trying to keep up with everyone's comments too because we have such a wonderful audience. None of these assholes were in a submarine. I'll tell you that.
I'd like to put a couple of them in the submarine.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. So anyway, so at the end of the day, Johnny put up his post, and maybe he was taking a lot of context, and maybe Johnny was a little sick of the world that day. That's my hunch. That maybe he was just tired of it, and it
Yes.
just came out wrong. And then Stephen commented, and
Mm.
then all of a sudden,
Eh.
here's God Save
Uh,
the Queen. I got to address this guy. Hold on.
What'd
God
he
Save
say?
the Queen. He made some like homophobic remark about men and me in tight places. He thought he's funny. You know, Johnny, everyone thinks they're funny.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
said, "I was just kidding. You're too
Okay.
thin-skinned. I was just busting balls." But then he says, hold on. He says, it's only okay when you do it. Well, it's my show. That's usually how it works. And if you're
Mhm.
funny, that would be different. Go ahead, Johnny.
So this guy, XJ Bomb, This guy is a real piece of work. He is in this Rat Motley Crue tribute thing.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and when I had posted that, he commented under Stephen Piercy saying, "Fuck that guy. I know all the songs. I'll be ready right away." Now, if you go to his page and you realize you know what you're dealing with here, it's a little disrespectful. So I really just, and I've heard him say other stuff on my page, kind of mean spirited. I kind of left it alone because I figure, you know, he's doing the best he can. And but when it starts to get like that, you know, calling me out and just saying you know, all the mean stuff he says, I want to say something back, but I'm trying to be respectful to the brand and not be like that. But if it was just me, I would you know tell him what I think. But so if he says
Well,
one more
hold on,
thing,
John. Yeah, hold on, Johnny. Before you say that, you put your post up about selling all your guitars. Stephen Piercy of the band Rat, he commented, and that sometimes brings out a lot of people. They're excited to see Stephen in the comments. And I believe that this guy did not wait for the body to get cold, so to speak. And
or the pizza.
and he offered his services, essentially
Mm.
saying, "Well, fuck him, I'm ready to go."
Yeah, and it's always like that guy that's going to offer his services. It's always like, well, I'll do it, you know, and just go look at the page. That's all you got to do. Listen to like 3 seconds. And I don't want to be mean about it, but if you're going to be a jerk, you know, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, I think I think we need to get him a submarine ride. I guess. I mean, it seems rude, and
Or submarine sandwich.
yeah. Let's
Fuck.
see. Chips Enough's wig stand is here, and we're going to talk a bit about Chips Enough wig stand. Sounds a lot like Dr. Paul to me. But
People keep asking me about this Road Flair red guitar. I just, even as we're talking, there's people messaging me on Instagram wanting to buy. It's like vultures, you know. Listen, I'm going to put the guitar and all my money in the coffin when I get shot out into space.
Johnny, are you selling all of your guitars?
No, I'm not selling all of them. Sorry, I didn't like phrase it exactly the way, you know, a little unspecific about it, but most of them, I should have said most of my guitars, and then none of this would have happened.
Johnny,
And then,
are you still in Stephen Piercy's band?
yes.
Well, and we're telling the audience there's 440 people sitting on the edge of their seat. Was there ever anything to make people think you might not be?
I don't know. Either they
What
were
happened to your tour
sympathetic.
dates, Johnny? What happened to your tour dates?
Oh, that was an internet thing. It happened just weird timing. I had some.
The real story is so much fun. Can I tell it without names?
The dates were questionable. I had posted some stuff that I got ahead of myself. That
Johnny,
I didn't.
let me tell the true story. Can I? I won't name names.
There was a submarine. Submarine.
Johnny told somebody that he wasn't available for something he didn't want to do. And he was scared they would see he was available, so he took his dates down in that way.
Stop it.
That person doesn't watch this horse shit. 446 people are that.
So I tuned in, and we have to have a chat. Why? Well, tuned in and heard what your friend, the Jew, said about the dates. Well, I don't understand what you mean. You could have done that gig. What gig? Who is this? I had a glitch. The glitch in the matrix. Those dates were up.
Johnny, you have this guitar. It's not a Flair Red, but you have this guitar that you were going to sell. I think you were willing to let it go a little too cheap. I pointed out that there's a lot of fans of yours, and that I think it would be nice that somebody who likes you and you're playing, obviously, gets to own that guitar. John, are you the Invisible Man? Oh my God!
I'm trying to get. I'm really liking this wireless thing.
Yeah.
It adds a whole new layer to the show.
Yeah. Well, now I can speak to a chair.
Well, all right, I'm coming back. I had to get more water. That stupid guy with his stupid face.
Johnny, people are very concerned about you.
It's a glitch in the matrix. Okay, glitch in the matrix. I said that already, right? And my dates will be back. Oh, they're back up now.
You're dating.
So
So you're dating.
no, my show dates are back up now.
Sorry.
And I still have this gig. So until something happens to me, stupid ass, you can have the gig after that. But you'll probably have to try out and pay for your own ticket. And then when he tells you no, you'll just have to fly back to Stupidville. So shut up.
Johnny, Brian Kirk, we know Brian's a nice guy. He says, this is gold. You two guys make my night every Wednesday. Well, that's a nice
Oh,
thing. That
now
is
see,
what it's
that's a nice thing to say, unlike some other people, which are not nice things to say. So, when I say something back to you, you should expect it. So shut up.
Yeah.
Water.
There are nice people, and we're happy that you're enjoy. Is that water, Johnny?
Yeah, the last time we went on that little thing with Stephen Adler, who got me hooked on nerds, by the way. It's a candy. It's very good. I discovered that from now on, I'm only drinking one type of water. So I ordered a case from Amazon. Look at that.
In the next tour diary, you will see Johnny and Matt Thorne discover their love for Fiji water or rekindle their love for it.
It's so good. But until you told me they put chemicals in it, but it really is good. And
Minerals.
It's fresh. It makes me feel like I am drinking something from a Japanese mountain. And that's where it was, like Fiji, right? Oh no, is that tropical? Anyways, whatever it is, it's very clear. I am not drinking any more of that Indian water, Arrowhead, whatever it's called. And because I find that it calcifies on the bottom of my coffee machine. And the Fiji water is so fresh and clean that I may not switch until, I don't know.
If that water calcifies at the bottom of your coffee machine, it would also calcify at the bottom of your kidney.
Thank you. That's why I stopped drinking it. But I mean, you can get a case of that for $6. This is a little pricey, but if I sell a couple more guitars, I should have enough water for months.
Johnny, did you ever play Hard Luck Kings?
What is that? Is that a strip club?
Made in SoCal, great. I guess it's a guitar. I've never heard of it. Hard Luck Kings. Mike we'll have to look it up. Maybe they would.
I don't know what that is. Okay, I tried Aquafina. Denise actually came out to a gig of mine at the Mandalay Bay. She was really nice. Yeah, she sat there and talked to all of us.
You and Denise are an item or no?
She came out and we had a good talk, and she sat and watched, and she wanted to hear a bunch of originals, which I can't do because they'll throw me right out. But I don't like Aquafina. I mean, I like the girl Aquafina, the actress from Renfield. Yeah. But the actual Aquafina water, for some reason, I didn't like the taste of it. The best water that I've always liked the best, the one that came out of the fountain in 8th grade when you go into the hallway. Remember that?
Yeah. You went to the whites only one, right?
No.
I forgot. You grew up during
very nice neighborhood.
Civil rights.
But the water fountain in the hallway that you'd sneak out, you'd feel special because it'd be quiet, everybody would be in class, and you'd have to go get a drink. You feel like you have the whole place to yourself. And then you got that little, beige kind of knob, and you turn it, and then it's shooting out. I wouldn't do it now, but then back then, he was like, and then it was great, right? It was a cold, and it just was so succulent. And now, if I drink water, it tastes a little corpsey. We have like mead. Then this doesn't taste right. It tastes like fingernails and a wristwatch. Yeah. So that's why I have to drink.
Hold on, Johnny. Rockin' balls. What is this? What is he saying?
What do you say?
I don't even know what this. I can't even read it.
It's people it's the same people making up fake accounts to say bad stuff. Whatever he said, if it's bad, just tell me what does it say?
It says, joke, ever picture my D in your A, ? Have me lady. What is happening?
I kind of get it. So here's what we do. We block him forever. Out.
I like to put him in timeout, but...
No. Just block. Just don't even put timeouts anymore. Unless it's someone that you think, you take it like jokey. People like that, just block them.
You don't think he can ever be a part of society? He can ever rehabilitate?
Listen, if this finger could touch people and they would just drop, I would do it like all day.
Mm-hmm.
I'd cut half of the world off, throw 'em in the garbage, along with that horrible Indian water, because this Fiji water is fantastic.
Somebody made a point, and I was going to say it earlier. Dasani water and Aquafina water are that one is Coke and one is Pepsi. That is the truth. They are the distributor.
Oh,
Aquafina, I believe, is Pepsi, and that's why they're both garbage.
I don't like it.
And will give you a kidney stones, if you will.
This guy's saying maybe I overstepped, Jason. He's saying this is your show, not mine.
Who said that?
Sorry if I'm telling you what to do, but just so we're clear, I just cleaned the mats in my car. So next time you're in it, it could be very nice. So keep that in mind when you do what I ask. So.
Am I getting picked on now?
No, I am. He's basically saying, shut up, you little Italian prick.
Right.
This is Jason's show. He could do what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He could, if you don't want to wear sleeves, you don't have to wear them. You know, if you want to wear your Elvis Costello shirt, which I brought you to, and we sat 5 feet from him,
mm-hmm.
The least you could do is block somebody.
Oh, all right. Well, I will. But Johnny, we'll get to that. Sally is here, and Sally had nothing to say, but just contribute $9.99. How sweet!
Aw. Well, thank you, Sally.
Yeah,
that's very nice. I like her. I like her picture.
I think that's a kid.
That's funny. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. We'll get to, I'm sorry that we're all over the place. We will get to a point. We will tell you what we've been up to. We will tell you about where we're going. I prefer Coke to Pepsi. Susan, I'm with you. And let's see. Sally wants to know if we purchase flights with a middle seat to avoid snotty kids or nasty Karens. No, we don't. We just try to make ourselves unappetizing so people will sit somewhere else. All right. So a lot of people want to hear about Elvis Costello, but we'll get to that.
Oh my Lord, I'm still freaking.
All right, let's go back, Johnny. Before we sell your guitars, all of them, we want to point out that Johnny had a birthday, and Johnny and I, it's an annual tradition now that we go out on each other's birthdays. And although my birthday, Johnny didn't remember was my birthday until it was 1 a.m. and he was leaving. That's okay. Anyway, so we went to a pizza, an Italian restaurant, and when we got there, we didn't like how it looked. And Vegas sucks now. Everything closes at 9 or 10 o'clock. It was hard to find somewhere. We went to a place called Joey's New York Pizza. It's a bit of a chain here. I kind of like it. When we got there, I left my wallet at home. Imagine that. But they told us that we got there just in time because they were running a special, 1 slice, 3 slices for the price of 1. But then she realized we were going to have 2 slices each. And she said, oh, what the hell, 4 slices for the price of 1. And we'll also give you 2 fountain beverages. And the grand total, $6.02. This was at 8:53, I believe. The place closed at 9. Johnny and I now like scavenging raccoons. Want to go back?
You guys still open?
Yeah.
You're still open? Wow, it's so lucky we got here. I had no idea. Let me have 8 slices.
We're gonna have a special. Anyway, we then asked the guy if it was okay if we sat there and ate. And he said, oh, yeah, you got plenty of time. We're closing 3 minutes.
You have plenty of time. We close in 3 minutes.
Yeah. So we went out and we ate on the back of Johnny's car, across from across from the airport or something, right?
No, it was on Las Vegas Boulevard, right next to some place where some douchebag kids were out there vaping on their break and being loud with their stupid car, driving up and down with their stupid muffler on their crappy car.
Johnny was in the happiest of spirits on his birthday.
No, it was the worst. It was terrible birthday. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, yeah, for you, I enjoyed it. But so then we went to a place. Well, I mean, the pizza at least. Then we went to a place where I said, Johnny, you need to have ice cream on your birthday. So we went to South Point Casino and we went to a place called Kate's. And we went in
that
and
Big Mouth, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, well, and the moose knuckle. I had the most exotic ice cream ever. I just saw my doctor today. We were talking about my diabetes, and all I could picture was the amount of ice cream I've been eating. I did have the Grimace shake earlier too, right after my doctor's appointment. So Johnny had a very boring cone.
Yeah, I don't know. I shit the bed when I order like that. I don't know what to do. I get up there and I just freak out. I'm a chucker.
Yeah. Well,
It's got the strawberry and some bullshit. I couldn't focus. It was so loud in there. The girl was walking around with her tight pants with her camel toe and her labia. So you walk around outdoor like that. The fuck?
It was really exposed. I mean, it wasn't like, normally we stare at random vaginas, but this one really, reached out and got our attention.
And you would think that you would notice that the person's noticing, but they're looking off in the distance because they want you to admire the fallopian tubes, whatever's happening down there. I wear long underwear at Walmart. They look at me like I'm an asshole, but it's okay for their idiot kid who is too young to be doing that, wearing that shit, walking around with puffy vagina all over the ice cream store.
Very, very puffy, yeah. No, I agree with you. Let me interrupt the story for 1 second because K Vibe, I hope that's right, says, I love the show. I purchased 2 crybaby pedals, but both have broken in less than 6 months. Is there another brand of wah wah pedal that you recommend?
You got to go back in time. They don't make anything good anymore. The stuff, the food, the pedals, the people, they don't make anything good anymore. They're all rotten. I think the best to do is just still, I like crybabies. I know Morley makes probably a higher quality pedal. I think Vox makes a good pedal. There's a Vox. If you get a Vox one, try that. But other than crybaby, I really don't know what to say. Shit breaks, stupid shit.
All right, we're gonna get to some things. So anyway, so that was Johnny's birthday party. I was glad to spend it with Johnny, but he was a little sour, which it's understandable. So that was the birthday party. I want to. People are asking questions. Are the Bellas still active? I believe so. These girls turn 18 and they stop speaking to me, so I'm not positive. How was the elk plus elk rib burn off? We learned a valuable lesson. For those of you who haven't seen the current tour diary, you're missing out. A stop at Willoughby is interesting.
Willoughby.
And it turns out I was a little upset by the elk, and so was Stephen, and so was Christy, and I don't know about Johnny, but we didn't really think it sounded like a great event. An elk plus elk rib burn off. Turns out Elk plus Elk is a law firm.
Although the 2 top lawyers have antlers and suits, and they walk in with a briefcase made of suede, and the humans look at them like, what guys like eating each other, cannibals. But no, I guess it's a lawyer firm.
Yeah, so they should be sharks, not they bump antlers after a successful trial. But
hearsay and conjecture.
Also,
those are kinds of evidence.
That's my case. Yeah, so
you're out of order. You're out of order.
You can't handle the truth. So when I do these tour diaries, I'm trying to bring you some history and some knowledge, and sometimes I'm a little dry about things. But I pointed out a monument dedicated to the fallen soldiers of the War of the Rebellion, which I thought was from Star Wars. I mistakenly read it as being taking place in 1951. It was 100 years earlier, 18. And that would be a big part of the Civil War. So anyway,
are we talking about June 10th?
Juneteenth. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I had an episode today. And I had to think about that to calm myself down. I'll tell you later. It was brutal.
About Juneteenth? We better be careful. They'll block you for not respecting.
No,
For those who don't, yeah. Juneteenth needs a better name. It should be called Emancipation Day or something along those. For those who don't know this new holiday, Juneteenth, it is to pay respect and remember the day that slaves were emancipated. It's certainly a worthy thing. It probably should have been a holiday for quite some time. The fact that humans were selling other humans is a little crazy, and it obviously so it's a worthy holiday. I just don't think people are getting it, and that leads to a lot of confusion. Hold on. Thank God, Coors Lightly is here. Jason and Johnny, here is for your next beverage on tour. Your fans appreciate the content. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
And we will use that
at 8:59 at the pizza place.
Yeah, Johnny, tonight dinner's on me. I'll make sure that
we're way too early.
Yeah.
And 3, 2, 1. I'll have a slice.
I'm looking forward to the Oroville show this weekend and doing the meet and greet. It would be great to meet you two also. So I am at every meet and greet. Johnny usually is there most of the time around the end. But as you will see in the next tour diary, Johnny and I sit around on the couches in lobbies, and if you'd like to meet us, you can meet us, no charge. But you can bring gifts, which, by the way, not necessary. But so many people have been bringing me nice things. Really great. There's great people watching this show, and then a few assholes. We talked about Johnny's birthday. I wanted to talk about the continuation of the birthday party, where you ended up in a woman's restroom. West Coast Ronnie. Did I get his? I see Jay.
Oh.
And here it is. Thank you so much for the super sticker. It's much appreciated. Johnny, if enough of these people do this, well, I'm going to have to buy you dinner.
I'm hungry.
Grimace shake tastes like cereal milk after a bowl of blueberry. Very true. It's very good. I like it. If you want my review, and you can just order it as the Grimace shake. You don't have to have the Happy Meal. After finding out my A1C is like a 10 or something like that, which is very bad, I thought I should celebrate with the Grimace shake. Johnny, I have a new primary. She's a lady. She looked at my legs and she caressed them, and she said she was happy that my legs were growing hair, and it felt unusual. I then took my pants off. But no, she said that diabetics can sometimes lose the ability to grow hair. And she said that if your legs get shiny or change colors and don't grow hair, you're in bad shape. She said my kidney function is fantastic.
Jeez.
But she said that, how are your legs?
I did that same thing to a girl in Italy who looked just like Derek Frigo, and she was fine with it.
Yeah.
My dad, me and my dad had, I think it's hereditary, like right on the shin area, there's no hair. Now, I always thought it was from wearing the compression socks, because he was a master barber, and he would wear those all the way up, but I don't do that. I think it's hereditary, just in that one spot. Like, I shave my legs once a year, and I just like a clean slate.
Johnny, Johnny, have you seen Jocelyn Stevens recently? Someone says here you got her when she still looked human. Can you believe that, Johnny?
Who? What happened?
Jay Ryan is saying that he doesn't think Josie Stevens is looking so good, but that you got her when she was still human.
I don't like the term "got her." Okay,
yes, that's inappropriate.
We started to be friends. We liked each other. It was short-lived because she said she was moving to LA to be in pornography. And I was just not okay with that. I'm a little old-fashioned. And, but I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. She got what she wanted. She got through that stage. It's over. She's doing what she wants. She's out. She's having a good time. What do I know? We don't talk anymore.
If she saw you, do you think she would recognize you? Because or is she so famous now that she doesn't?
I mean, I don't know if she would. Maybe. She might know. I don't think she cares. It's fine. Her and Steve Stevens are having a great life together. They're doing stuff. They're going to shows all the time. And I'm
Chewy's here. And Chewy, thank you for your super chat. Always great show. Thanks so much. And please help Steven come to North Florida. Johnny is freaking hilarious. Freggin. I don't know. Where is North Florida? Like Broward County? I don't know. But maybe we could be there.
North Florida. Weren't we asked just to go there recently? We couldn't go because we were going to be in New Mexico, which is
JB is very angry about Juneteenth. I'm assuming he's white. He's white. Let's see. Well, Denise is very mad about it too. Everybody's very mad about it. I think I explained it to all of you.
It's fine. It's people just don't know because as far as they're concerned, it didn't have anything to do with them personally.
Right.
You know,
They didn't
like
own slaves, is what you're saying?
I'm an Uber driver. I didn't own anything. I don't even own my car. So they're like, take it up with George Washington. So I think that's the thing. It's like we've been so removed from the years.
I gotta block this guy. Hold on. Let me show.
What do you say?
Let me show the comment, and then I'm gonna have to block him.
Put it up. Please put up. One more word from any of you idiots. You're getting blocked immediately. And if you have a problem with that, just come to the show. Tell me.
He's already gone. Doesn't matter. We'll have to wait for him to come back. It's just it's racist. It's racist and it's hateful.
I mean, if you want to be funny, it's mean spirited. It's one thing, but if you're gonna, certain things, and if they think it's like a badge of honor to get blocked, it's not, because this is probably a pattern in your life. You're probably a huge piece of shit, bad father, condo father, and no one wants to hang out with you anyways because you're stupid and you're lazy. So shut up.
People are really stupid, but Liam is not, and Liam is nice enough to offer us a $20 super sticker. Johnny, I'm going to buy you the finest Oroville dinner we can find.
What about? I'm hungry now.
Well, maybe we can do that.
I mean, I can make something, but I only have like that Rayo sauce with the noodles.
You got to try the Rayo's Bolognese.
I've been eating spaghetti. Okay, listen, I went to Smith's today. That doesn't exist.
I'll show it to you before the end of the show.
Well, then Smith's doesn't have it because it's ghetto. Where do you get yours? Farmer's Market? Sprouts?
No, I must have walked home with it. Walmart.
Oh, well, they do have good stuff at Walmart, dude. I bought some shoes today, by the way. I'll tell you that later. But
all right,
I've got new clothes. I've got new stuff coming. I am changing.
We got to sell these guitars in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Age Advancement Day, Johnny. Enjoy your trip around the sun. Great things are on the horizon. Thank you, Ruby. I'm thanking you for Johnny's. Thank you.
Yeah, I asked my doctor. I'm like, about my thumb, it was locking at one time. And I'm like, how does that happen? Is it from guitar? Like, what's going on? He goes, too many birthdays. I'm like, all right, we do material. But it's still okay now. I have a little bit of a bump, like a weird bump right there, but it's a cyst. But it's moving. So if I ever need to get to Colorado.
My doctor also told me that I need to go to a hand specialist because I've told you I can't close my hand. She said it's a trigger finger problem.
That's what I have.
And okay, well then maybe you could. But she says they're gonna release it or something. What does that mean?
What they do is it's a very simple surgery. They don't put you out for it. You actually sit up in a chair. They put a curtain so you can't see it. They let you talk to you. So how you doing? Oh, you're a musician, huh? And they cut into your finger, and there's a sheath where the tendon runs through. And what happens is that tendon creates a nodule from being rubbed on so long. So instead of removing and messing with the tendon, they just cut a line in the sheath and open it up like you would a wire. So then when you move it, the tendon can freely move and doesn't get caught on the in and out of the sheath, which is like a wire. Done? No, I was supposed to have it done, and then it got better for some reason. So I figured, yeah, you're probably fine. But if it gets to the point to where it's locking all the time and you're not grabbing stuff normal, you go in and have it done. For you, it probably wouldn't be a huge deal. Like it's for me, I was afraid that it would do something to my picking hand and by holding it. And people are always like, "Don't do it. Don't let them cut you." But I guess it's a common thing, and it only takes like 20 minutes to do. Mainly they freeze you up, and the main part is coming down from that. But yeah, they just open you up.
I'm going to go to a faith healer fast. Yesterday I thought I was going to play a little on the bass. I like to play with a pick, and I realized that I might have to alter my picking style to this middle finger and thumb. Until
some people do that.
Yeah, I think Lynch did that for a minute, but
I tried to put ice it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do everything I can to avoid this. But what I usually hold a pick, I usually hold as much of the pick as possible with just this little tiny part sticking out. That James Hetfield, I hear, does that as well. But I feel like you have more control over the pick. But sometimes the pick, I've learned from playing the bass, the pick has to have some movement to it. The pick is supposed to be percussive. It should be part of the sound. I've heard somebody criticize 4-string basses. I can't get into that. All right, let's see. Because he used 2 words you can't say on this show. And let's see here. Does anyone know when Gino Martino's solo is coming out?
Was that supposed to be funny?
I'm not sure, but if it is, it's very inside. Here's a good question, Johnny. Do we like pizza New York style or Chicago style? If Johnny's answer, I think it's going to be controversial.
I mean, I prefer Chicago, but I also like New York style. Anything but West Coast style.
Well, that's for sure. But Johnny, I feel like I see you eat New York style more now. Maybe because that's more accessible.
It's all they have here.
Yeah, but you don't really seem to like the deep dish. I haven't seen you.
I do. I do. I like it when they put all the sauce on top and everything, and you got to cut it with a knife and fork. You get a stuffed spinach pizza. I like that. I just don't see it a lot out here.
I grew up with New York pizza so much that I actually enjoy Chicago pizza, Chicago hot dogs, things that I didn't have as much. I enjoy now, but I like both. I think I lean towards New York pizza, though, obviously, for me.
I like both. I like thin. I do like thin, like you're saying. But, I mean, just because they say New York and Chicago, but most of the pizzas in Chicago are like New York. They're thin. They're normal. They're soft.
They like squares, though.
What?
Your people like square pizza. They like to cut it.
Well, that's very old school. Not all the places do that. Your people.
Denise is saying it's a very common surgery. It'll be okay, John, even though I'm the one who has to get it. But
I know.
Won't feel it when they cut my finger off.
I actually had it all set up, the appointment, and I chickened out the last minute. Same thing happened to me at the bumper cars.
Steve just had some penne pasta with Rayo's.
Look at this guy. This guy's asking why I'm so insecure about Gino, and that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Me and Gino are friends. I think he's great, and I go way back with him, and I have no insecurity, and we're good friends. I'm just saying when someone mentions when's his solo album coming out, I don't know how to read that.
Was he a drummer?
No, Gino Martino was the guitar player in Enough's Enough for years. He was actually originally in the original lineup, and then Frigo and all that happened. Then he came back in during I want to say Tweaked. And
didn't you play with him at some point?
He was in the band and he was doing great and playing. And he owns a guitar store called Players Guitars, and it's on the South Side. He's friends with Chip and all them. And then something happened, I think, in his family, and he couldn't do a tour, and he didn't want to do it anymore or something. So I came in when they needed somebody at the last minute, and it turned into that. But me and Gino are great friends.
You've said that before.
Yeah, so I don't understand what that even means. So shut up.
Joe, thank you so much for your 666. Johnny, I want to get into our experience with Elvis, but before I do that, you bring up Enough's Enough. Would you rather take your chances at a submarine ride to the Titanic or see a band called Choir Boys with no original choir boys, no one who wrote songs, no one who mattered, including the lead singer, and then a band called Enough's Enough that has a bass player who dresses like the Good Humor Man. And then I don't know, it doesn't look glam, it doesn't look slam, it doesn't look like a jam. Which would you choose?
I played in the original Glam Slam Metal Jam. It should rhyme, by the way. They kind of messed that title up. How far down does a submarine go?
Like 150 Empire State Buildings.
How long is the concert?
How long what?
How long would the concert be?
I mean, if they played all their hits between them, I think 4 minutes. But the whole show, hours and hours and hours.
What if I was in the parking lot just like meeting people and saying hi? Would that count? Like, do I have to go in? Because I've heard all this. I've heard it before. I know what I'm going to hear. I like Spike. We met him on the boat. He was cool. Me and
Yeah,
him
well,
talked. He actually shared a lot of our sentiments about this whole thing.
he did. Spike is right there, and he was a great guy. And he's actually, look, me and Johnny didn't know too much what to expect. We went to see him play, and he's a good storyteller. He had a good voice. It's kind of a Rod Stewart's Faces kind of vibe, and he's really cool. And he hung out, and we talked a bunch with him, and we kept seeing him. And
He was funny.
He's like the real Jack Sparrow. I mean, he's kind
Yeah, I
of
like him. He was funny. And he was saying a lot of stuff that he was just going on and on. I didn't even have to say anything. I mean, I don't know. Everyone's out there, you know, if you diss somebody or say something negative, it's like, oh, you're negative. You should give everybody a chance and be happy for them and, you know, all that. But, you know, it doesn't really do anything for me. And I don't know if I was submarine.
Donnie and Johnny is what the world needs. Listen, I don't know. Donnie reached out to Johnny. They did discuss trying to do something. Johnny wanted to do it, but because of the Stephen Piercy dates that sometimes you can find on his website when he doesn't have to buy them from people because he doesn't want to go to things, you can see that his schedule is busy. So otherwise, I think you would have seen Johnny play with Donnie. But Donnie's got his own problems. I don't mean his personal problems. I mean, I think shows are getting canceled in Australia. These are promoter problems. They're not Donnie V problems. But I couldn't imagine seeing those bands without Donnie V and without Spike. It's just
well, they're going to see it, and they're going to see it a bunch this summer because they have a lot of dates because the bar's been lowered.
Yes, and the pay has been lowered.
Those guys, they always come off like your friends. Come off like they're friends. They say some nice stuff to your face, and then I read texts or I see other stuff that they've said, and they're all just full of shit.
All right, so here's Dead to Me. I think you asked me to block Dead to Me earlier. I could be wrong, but he said enough is enough, but he spelled it like eight is enough. It's not even a real band. I thought you were selling out. I thought you were selling guitars. Pull out the guitars.
All right, hold on. I mean, I know it got a little off the rails today, and for no other reason than we were just talking here.
People missed you. All right, let's.
Well, I don't know about that,
but Johnny, I think listen. If somebody hold on, let me get this idiot out of here. If somebody wants to buy a guitar, how are we going to do this? The main guitar. Show me the guitar you want to sell the most.
I have 3 guitars.
All right, let's see it.
And a bunch of pedals.
You guys better get your wallets out.
I mean, first of all, here's the first one. Should I grab it? Are you ready?
Yeah.
This beautiful piece is so clean and so nice. I just don't play it. It's got no dings or scratches. That's a JB, and it has a nice case, like a soft bag. It's a good one too, not a shitty one. And this thing just plays great. It's got great action. I just don't use it that much because I use my other one, and I don't want to bring 2 guitars, and it's sitting around. And I think it's a couple of 2017 maybe, but it's got a Floyd on it. It's not one of the best ones, but it's not bad, and it's real clean, super clean. Plays great. I set it all up, all original, kind of unfinished here. So that's the first one.
Okay. Now show us the rest. Yeah.
This one.
Oh, there's more.
Is kind of pricey. This is an American Strat that I had modified a little bit. I had the back of the neck shaved and then refinished, so it plays like an Ibanez. And I had it radius to 16 for you guitar players, so it's flat, so you could bend all the way all day. And I had the finish taken off the neck, but there's some on the back because I like that feel. And these are stainless steel frets, jumbos. And these are the Paul Gilbert pickups. And this is an upgraded bridge. And I always take off the knobs and I put one knob only because that's all you really need. But of course you could put the pots back in. But this is a great guitar. It's probably the best guitar I own. I just don't play it a lot. It's a little heavy, but it's a real American Strat. It's got a tilt neck, and it comes with a great case, like super hardcore, really plush. I bought it Making Music. I think it's a 2015, and I just don't play it, but it's really nice. And I think I got about 1,200 into this guitar. It's a little pricey for a guitar, but the new ones are like 14, 15.
All right, what else?
So I'm all right. So the other one is another Strat, which is an interesting one. This is, although a Squire, it is a special one that they made called the Classic Vibe. And this one is really cool. And these are all stacks. This is an upgraded bridge. I believe I had it leveled and also has that little bit of vintage finish on the back, which I like. And it's not too bad. It's not too heavy. And it looks like a Hendrix guitar. It's super cool and very playable and sounds great. And I think these are original, or I think I upgraded these too. But
Now,
these, I just don't really use them as much, and that's the only reason I'm selling them.
right. So these three guitars, starting with these, are available. Now, what Johnny's doing is he's not going to do a live auction right now because a lot of people are going to wake up tomorrow, watch this show, and they want it too. And the main thing is Johnny wants it. He was going to originally go meet a guy behind the Starbucks, and he thought better of it. And maybe somebody who likes Johnny or is a fan of it could do would like it. So Johnny, how can people? Do you have an email set up or a hotline, or how can people make a bid?
No, I mean, if someone's interested in those guitars, they could just reach out to me. I mean, just
No,
Facebook.
but how would you like them to do it? Social media?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm pretty accessible, so you could just reach out at social, or you could.
Do you want to have a starting price, Johnny? Because a lot of these knuckleheads will offer you $4.
Right. Yeah, I see some people saying $100 and stuff like that, which is,
Yeah.
I guess they think that's funny.
I'm not
I
sure,
don't
but
know.
rather than give them any attention, what do we want to start these? They like, I mean, I don't know. Everything's got to be over $400 at least.
Oh yeah.
500. Yeah, I
So,
mean,
well, I mean, the white one, I would start it at like 5.25 because that's pretty much what I got into it. And it's got the JB and the pick and the gig bag. And the black Strat, I'd have to start that at I want to say like $1,000, no less than that. And the other one would probably be around like 400, maybe 450. It's between the American Strat and that, they're like double, right? So if I'm at like 450, 500 for the one Strat, the other one have to be $1,000. And then the Ibanez is like kind of in the middle somewhere.
all right. Now,
Not super expensive guitars, but they all play well, and I've done some work to them to make them play better.
if someone is interested, Johnny could also bring this guitar to you at a Stephen Piercy tour date. You go to officialstephenpiercy.com or johnnymonaco.com when he's not hiding his dates to avoid people. You can you come out. Johnny will bring it to you at a show and consign it if that's something you want, or you just want to have it to play. Or if you're a fan of Johnny's, I'm sure he'll give you some cool stuff with it. And if you're just somebody who wants a cool guitar, that's possible too. He can ship it to you, or like I said, he could bring it to you. Or if you come to Las Vegas, Johnny plays with a lot of shitty bands here that you can come see. I mean, you can come see Johnny at least, and he could give it to you there. So there's a lot of options. You can message him on Johnny. What do you like? Instagram, Facebook, any of them?
Yeah, and those are fine. I mean, then we could just talk about how you want to pay for it.
Yeah, J-Date. Sally, you're very kind. Thank you.
I have some pedals too. I have a whole bunch of pedals that if somebody's interested in guitar pedals, and some of these have history, like I've toured all over the world with Enough's Enough with these, and it comes in the same case, and they're all in there. It's a Boss pedal board, has all the pedals. That could be sold all together, or I could part them out. But I think it's a great deal. I just don't use the stuff, and I think it's cool. It's sitting here. And I also have a box of Enough's Enough shirts that I took one shirt from every tour. Got like 25 shirts all ready to go that I just have sitting in Marge's basement. I'm not giving them back to those dummies. So
Dan makes a good point that I asked Johnny. Johnny, if someone really wanted to see you play it on stage, could you do it for a song or so? Or
yeah, I probably could.
You know, so
Someone
look at
should buy
that.
this one. This is a one of a kind. Got the dates on the back from the UK tour.
Mhm.
I made this shirt because I thought it was funny, and those guys were kind of like, I don't know, it's not. So, you know, this is a great one. There's, me and Chip, and then Randy Scott, and this other dummy. But it's like this is from England. Mary Poppins theme,
Mhm.
one of a kind. So if someone
Well,
wants
anyway,
that,
listen, if you're a fan of Enough's Enough, if you're a fan of Johnny, if you're just looking for a guitar, and I see a lot of people asking, you're going to have to reach out to Johnny. Was that John pedal board?
this is the one. Yeah, these are great. This is the original case that it came in, and I have a bunch of pedals in here. They're older pedals, but they're all really good and they all work. But these are the original ones that I used on all the tours. So I don't want to go through each one, but guitar players know what they are. And if someone's interested in this, you know,
Johnny, is it true that you're selling these things to make room for Vanessa's clothes? That's someone's asking. Is she moving in?
I just don't use this form of pedals anymore, and they're sitting here. And they should go to somebody who this is more of something that you buy because it's like part of something I've used and part of where it's been, monetarily. Is each pedal worth $100? Probably. Still, if you look on Reverb, but this is something that is, I think, kind of cool.
All right, make offers. Jay and I went to lunch today. Jay had a Grimace shake as well. He's reminding you hit the join button to support the channel. There you can become a member, and members have perks. You get a little thing next to your name. A Three Pistol 7 has one here. Denisa has one, and you get to watch videos early. This Friday, the video interview of the week will be with Dave Rude of the band Tesla. And his name is Rude, but he's a very polite guy. But you can watch it now if you're a member. Members watch stuff first. Patreon as well. And so there's that. I interviewed a guy named Angry Anderson yesterday. He is the singer for the band called Rose Tattoo. Legendary guy. Band started in 1976. He was also in the movie Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. The interview went so long we had to stop to reschedule, and he likes to chat. His name is Angry, and again, he is a very polite guy. These people's nicknames just don't fit them. A lot of people are asking about Zelle and about PayPal. All of those things you can work out with Johnny. He will find a way to take your money, and And so anyway, write to him.
Yeah, I took all those. Yeah,
Johnny's, and you get to have a little moment with Johnny in this transaction. It doesn't get better than that. Maybe Johnny will take you to the one slice for four place too. I mean, Johnny, speaking of Chicago players, were you in the same circles as Josh Ramos?
I don't know who that is.
Like, well, then, no. Thank you, Live to Jam, for the question and the super chat. But I'm sorry, Johnny, did not know. Let's talk a little bit, Johnny, about the second part of your birthday celebration. They literally had to carry us out. It was so exciting. Well, not us personally.
Oh my Lord, that
Johnny
was great.
So Johnny has these friends that are they're called ticket brokers. That means they're but they've made a career at it. And it's funny is that Ryan is a friend of both of ours. I knew Ryan long before I knew Johnny. It was coincidence that we had all sort of met, 6 degrees of separation. And Ryan's a good guy, and I've seen so many concerts with him. But they have a good connection, and people love Johnny. And for his birthday, they wanted to get him a good gift. So Ryan and Tim, his partner, I suppose, they both at Rebel Tickets. That's the name of the agency. If you guys want to buy some tickets, but they bought for Johnny's birthday. They bought him front row to see Elvis Costello. Now,
not just front row, right in the middle, center, looking at the microphone stand.
Yeah, nothing in front of us except a clumsy waitress who dropped the tray.
And you sat right next to me, and then Tim sat here, and his friend sat next to him, and we were in the front row the whole time. I didn't have to stand up. It was great. He was so good.
Well,
my God.
So when Johnny told me that, I go, these guys don't like Elvis Costello, but I've seen Elvis Costello before, and I like him. I appreciate it. And I thought, you know what? One of these dummies is going to back out, and I'm gonna swoop in, and I'll be sitting next to Johnny. I'm Johnny's real bestie at the Elvis Costello concert, and then they had this thing going on in town called hockey, and I guess they won the Heisman Trophy.
I love it when they get a touchdown.
Yeah, and so they had a parade. In most cities, the parade happens at 9 a.m. In New York, for example, a real city. But here, it's like a Saturday night, and the players all got drunk and took their shirts off and were like drinking out of the trophy. Personally, I don't care what they do, but it did seem a little silly. But then again, this is a sport where people kick the shit out of each other. So why not have a few drinks and take your
ice? It's the ice in the desert. Makes no sense.
Yeah, and so I didn't want to go to the parade. So, but Ryan pointed out that his family wanted to go, which really means he wanted to go. And
it's a family. Families do that.
The ticket, when Johnny and I have no family, the ticket was vacated.
Drag her down.
Yeah, the ticket was vacated and was offered to me, which I was excited. I was already dressed and ready to go because I knew this was going to happen. So we went to the Palms Hotel. It's changed a lot. And and then when we were, Johnny was talking to one of the big shots, the executives, and when he mentioned that Low Straight Jackets was playing, I instantly knew there was Nick Lowe, who I'm a fan of, and so Johnny wanted to get intoxicated, but I said, Johnny, let's just watch a little bit of this first. So we went and we watched Nick Lowe and Low Straight Jackets. It was great.
Great.
It was really good, really fun.
Yeah.
But those who don't know Nick Lowe, his big song is "Cruel to Be Kind." I feel like Nick Lowe is known as the king of power pop in the can you play that song, Johnny? A few bars?
No, I can't hear for some reason outside of this. But he also wrote, you know which one he wrote, right?
He wrote What's So Love, Peace, and Understanding. Yeah.
That's right. So basically he wrote Elvis's biggest song. I think people associate him with that song, but I mean, there's got to be a connection with those guys, right? I think they got to be like, friends.
That would definitely be a connection. I believe they're both English. And Nick Lowe in the 70s was kind of considered, they called him the king of power pop. The original version of that song, Cruel to Be Kind, is a heavier power pop song. But anyway, it was fun. And I should point out that his band, the Low Straight Jackets, they wear lucha libre wrestling masks. And it's very funny. The drummer, they refer to him as Gringo Starr. And
that was funny. They're good, man.
They're great. They played a really fun surf version of My Heart Will Go On and Dreaming by Blondie. It was really a fun time. And Nick Lowe has an amazing holiday record. He has a song called Christmas in the Airport. And I've been with bands where I spent Christmas in the airport. Johnny probably has too.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Nick Lowe was great. So that was a bonus. So we got to, and again, we couldn't have been sitting any closer. The guy's right in front of me. I said to Johnny, are these people going to flip out when I take out my phone? Because nobody was doing that. But I mean, be this close in these expensive tickets, that doesn't happen all the time. So no one seemed to object. And Johnny made the point that most of the people here are 600 years old. They don't know how to use a cell phone, which seemed to be true. So we watched Elvis Costello, and he's great. It was really fun. He played all the hits that you want to hear. Some he did different arrangements, but it was still fun. And he really is a legend. And I think that it was a lot of people were at the hockey thing. It felt kind of like an intimate thing. Maybe also because we were in the front.
Yeah, it totally did. I mean, I think that's how his concerts kind of are. It's like like-minded people. It's not just a bunch of idiots there to see, System of a Down. It's like, it's a different vibe. It's like everybody's like-minded. And it's an intellectual concert.
Yeah, people are also nice and they're into it, and people get online and for the merch and things. Everyone's nice and respectful. It's not like going to see Enough's Enough where there's 6 people in the audience, including their parents. It was a great time. And so at the end of the night, Johnny, do we tell how the night went?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, gotta tell him something. That steak was ridiculous.
The gentleman who took us out to eat,
who was part of getting us the tickets.
That's right. He's a co-owner. He was incredibly generous. He's a nice guy. and he offered to buy Johnny a like a birthday celebration dinner. I thought, what am I going to do? Because I don't know the guy as well as Johnny, who's Johnny says he doesn't know him that well. I go, this place. They decided to go to STK, the most expensive steakhouse in the Cosmo. I've looked at it from the outside. I've looked in the window. I've salivated. I knew it was going to be expensive, and so we went. And Brad was there too. Brad at least made me feel better because he's broke too. Brad, I've known for 100 years. He used to tech for Steven Adler. Which means he would pour the pixie sticks in Steven's mouth while he played. True story. Anyway, so we're hanging out in this STK. The only thing I could say about it is that they have this annoying DJ music that just plays a part of every song, and it's always Bon Jovi into New Kids, into NSYNC, into Spice
It's very
Girls.
loud. It was very loud in there.
And it's really hard to talk.
Very urban. Yeah.
Very urban. But yeah. Anyway, Don't Stop Believing, Sweet Caroline. Anyway, I had the New York strip. It was $75. It came with nothing for $75. Johnny, since he was the birthday boy, had a
I asked Tim, what are you getting? And I got the same thing because me and him usually he knows what to get. He does this all the time.
Well, and you guys are, you've shared steak before and $400 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
So you had so Johnny had the the bone-in ribeye, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then Brad went along with you guys.
$145.
Yeah, $145.
It was great though, man. Wow, that was a steak.
And then we had sides, $21 each. We had 4.
Mm-hmm.
But one of us had a date. Yeah. And she
two bottles of wine. 2 bottles of wine.
And 2 bottles of wine that were between $300 and $400 a piece, something like that. Mm-hmm. And Johnny and him were the only ones drinking it. The young lady that was with us, she was very sweet. She drank a little bit until she had to take a nap.
Tim's lap.
I didn't find it embarrassing or uncomfortable at all. We've all dated people who sometimes passed out, maybe even ourselves. But so she took a little siesta, if you will, and then it was time to leave. We were closing the place out, and I said we should get a wheelchair. But they didn't want to get the wheelchair. They thought we'll just carry her out the old-fashioned way. Everyone had an opinion. Johnny said do the fireman's carry. And so we went to the escalators, and I said, you better get a good grip on her or she's going to tumble down the escalator. Now, we made it down one level, and then she found a spot to lay down. And then I warned people that I think maybe she's a little sick, and she was. Then we went down to the next level. Now, when I say we, I mean she was being assisted. I'm not sure she would remember it. And but this happens. I'm not making fun. She went to the restroom, and I knew once she got in that restroom, probably not going to see her again. Probably going to take a nap again. I then pointed out that out of all of us, Johnny looks the most like a young lady. And that maybe, I didn't mean that as an insult. Johnny's an attractive man or woman, maybe. So Johnny went into the restroom to find her. He came out and he said, it's all stalls in there, as if he was going to find urinals.
No, the lady was yelling at me. She said, get out!
That was the second time. That was the second time.
Oh, okay. Right.
The first time, no one said a damn thing. Second time you went in, and then maybe 1 or 2 people in our party then let us know that they were 86 from this hotel. To which Johnny pointed out, you're about to be 87. When we looked over our shoulders, I would say 35 security officers, like out of a clown car, but they're just chumps.
And none of their suits fit them.
Not at all. And
they had like neck tattoos and tattoos on their fingers and smiling and laughing and talking to each other like it was a fucking birthday party.
Then they got the paramedics.
And the chair with the oxygen.
They brought the Jaws of Life. Johnny was making conversation with prostitutes at this point.
I didn't know that they were prostitutes. I
Mhm.
just figured her butt was like this big and she didn't have any underwear on.
Mhm.
And she said hi, and I said hi, and they're like, "Hey, baby," and I figured it out, and I'm like, I can't, I
They were
it
Nubian princesses.
wouldn't sit well with me. I'd be thinking about it too much.
Yeah. So, as if this wasn't enough, Metro Police showed up.
Yeah.
And now it's
They're
the
like all
biggest.
bored. They're like,
They could care less. Anyway,
yeah,
they wanted to make sure that she was okay. They went in. They did. They must have done something because she did make it out. They did say the boy she was messed up. I will say it didn't seem like she drank that much.
no, I don't know what she was fine. Like all of a sudden, it hit her.
Yeah, and
Yeah, like a minute into "The Baby Loves You."
mhm. I will say it was
Yeah.
one of the better meals I've had. It was really fantastic.
Oh, that food was. I wish I had it now. Just should we go there? That's too expensive.
Johnny and I discussed what to do. I knew he was going to buy Johnny's dinner, but me, I'm just some schmuck. So I haven't used this move in a long time. I perfected it. I did attempt it. I went to my pocket, knowing there's nothing in it, and I said, "Hey, can I help with that?" Yeah, and and I knew that nothing was going to come out but moths. And waiting for him, and he went, "I got it."
Yeah,
And then
what a
I
nice guy
did.
to do that.
He's a very nice guy. And then I did the when cousin Eddie asked Clark for money, I just put my wallet back in my pocket and I made it for another day. Earlier on, when I saw the prices on the menu, I asked Johnny, "Do you want to wash or dry? Because we're going to have to do a shift to pay for this." Um, but anyway, he was very generous, and that was the real Johnny birthday celebration. We will point out the young lady did come to her feet, and
She's fine. She's having a good time. I know what it's like to feel like that. I've been, little drunks in my life once in a while, and there's no fun when things are spinning and you got to walk. And you're at a quinceanera or the hospital or wherever we were working at the time. Uh, diamond mine. But it's tough. You got to walk, and it's hard. You feel nauseous. She's fine. She had a good time. It was just very nice of him to do that. And he didn't have to do that, and he took care of us the whole night. And that says something.
I agree. Yeah, most people suck.
And they've done this before to me over and over. This is not the first time we've done this.
I
So
reached
that's very,
out.
very kind.
I reached out to Ryan and I made the point that I'm available next Stanley Cup as well, and hopefully I can weasel my way in to more things. Let's see. Waste some time T-shirts. When will they be available? Hopefully soon. I got to do it. I'm going to sell them in the parking lot at Stephen Piercy concerts. Johnny will have pedals. I'll have T-shirts,
Oh yeah, right.
and we
Should
will
put those
meet
at
and
the merch
greet.
booth.
Yeah, I just think
Yes,
we can just meet and greet. Come meet us in the lobby, and we will be happy to meet you and sell you junk. Anyway, so that was a little bit more of Johnny's birthday celebration. Have they found those guys at the Titanic yet? Uh, by those guys, I mean Jack and Rose. Let's
Yeah, they
see.
heard about the Glam Slam metal tour, and then they were halfway up, and they decided just
Back down. Yeah, Bitsy T-shirts would be a nice thing. I don't know what Bitsy is right now. Again, I feed her a ton of food before the show, so she stays away. Johnny needs merchandise. Well, Johnny has merchandise. If you
the pedals.
go to johnnymonaco.com, need a show recap, got an annoying phone call. Well, the show recap is called Watch It Again afterwards. A lot of people are joining in late, and I completely understand. He is selling all of his guitars. He's already explained it.
Well, I know who this is. He's a really great guy. He's a guitar collector and has a bunch of cool pieces. I'm not sure that you need any more guitars, but I mean, I am selling one of my RGs. It's a white one. It's not the RGs that you're thinking of, and it's and then two Strats. One's an American, one's a classic vibe, and then the rest of a bunch of pedals. It's
Yeah.
it's more of something that you would want to collect just to have, and you can always check that out.
Yeah, you watch the replay and you'll see what Johnny has, and you can go to his social media and correspond with him, and he will get that to you. Johnny and I will be in Sacramento this week for anyone who would like to see us, would like to hang out with us, would like to buy us a very expensive steak dinner.
Oh yeah, we're gonna nail it. How much did we get so far? We couldn't even put all this together and get like the sides.
Yes, yes. I will say that Johnny and I will be back at the Cosmopolitan tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We are
Oh
having,
God.
I think my chair is breaking. I've lowered it a lot, like a submarine. We will be having a all-star breakfast with Sir Oz Fox of the
Oh
Strike.
yeah. Who eats breakfast?
Oz loves pancakes and breakfast. He wanted to go there earlier. It's cheaper for breakfast. That's good, I guess. But we will be at the Wicked Buffet, Wicked Spoon Buffet tomorrow at 10 a.m. Come out, buy one of Johnny's guitars. And yeah, so all right, so that's so we probably need to eat dinner at some point, Johnny. Johnny, you're very
I'm ready. Really. I mean, this has gone on for long enough. Right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect it to go this long. I always do these shows, and then I feel like we've accomplished nothing, and no one is entertained, will care.
It was a weird one.
Yeah, but
All over the place.
we had so much to catch up with. I will say though that 400 people have sat here. There was extra assholes today. That's okay. It happens. But then there were some very generous super chatters and super stickers, and I appreciate all
Yeah, it's very nice. That's very nice of them.
Johnny, did you hear that this was my most successful month on YouTube?
Well, that's good. I mean, people enjoy the show. They like what you do. I thought, it gives them something to look forward to, kind of like the buffet.
Or death. But yeah, the way it works on the YouTube is the last 2 weeks into the next 2 weeks. That's kind of how it works. Payday is today, the 21st, and people have been very generous, and I thank you because this is it. This is my gig. While Johnny's out around town playing with all these bands and looping and working his ass off, I have to sit here and beg you guys for money. So if you guys have any last questions or comments or want to pay for our dinner tonight, this is your chance because we've been here for Michael Perez. Michael Perez is a great guy. Michael Perez, Bitsy Kibble Fund, Johnny's birthday gift. Thank you so much. I'm going to put that towards both of my two favorite people. Cats are people, right? Yeah, why not? And then Johnny doesn't. Well, no, actually, no, Johnny, you like animals. You're just allergic.
The cats, I can't help that. Also, they're very sneaky.
Yeah, but you're not against animals. A lot of people saying they enjoyed seeing you sing "Last in Line," which Johnny.
Yeah, it was all right. I tried my best. That's a tough one to sing. I've seen,
I explained it when Johnny wasn't here. I talked about it a little bit that in Las Vegas, there's a scene of people who like to jam. It's much like a human centipede. They are so into each other that they have to put their heads in each other's assholes and then tell each other how great they are and smell and farts and
smell their farts.
Yeah, and then pat each other on the back. When listen, none of the people that they're that good. But Johnny sang that Last in Line. He stole the show, and the next day the world saw something that a lot of us have already known, that Johnny's got a lot of talent, not just as a guitar player, but he's an excellent singer. Hold on, was Johnny Monaco in Tough? No. Will Johnny accept P.F. Chang's in lieu of payment for guitars? No. Great show. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Come to Thailand. Dinner will cost under 10 US for both of you. Well, we might do that. And happy endings as well. Denise, thank you so much for your super chat. That'll go towards our dinner.
My friend Matthew Matthew just sent us $20,
Maybe he
which
doesn't want you to say his real name. Maybe you outed him.
he's fine with it. You know what?
Matthew,
When we
thank you.
when we come to New Mexico real soon,
Hmm.
you just let me know, Matthew, and we'll put you on the guest list.
Yeah, and a meet and greet too, if you like that kind of thing, with Steven,
Yeah,
not
because I
me.
think we're going to be in that area. So, oh
Will
wait,
Will Johnny
yeah.
shave his head for
Oh
a
wait, no,
hundred?
he lives in Nebraska. He's from New Mexico. I'm wrong.
Okay, well, will Johnny shave his head for $100? I can't tell you that he would do that, but I have a feeling he might do something else drastic with his hair. But you'll have to wait and see. West Coast Ronnie, thank you so much for the super sticker. What a generous audience tonight. Johnny's singing Dio was amazing. It is, and that's on his social media, which is fantastic. I can't believe how many people. We're going to wrap this up in 4 minutes. It's 1:45 and 53 seconds.
So hungry.
We've I've enjoyed seeing everyone. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. When I do the show and I say enough with the "Where's Johnny," it's not that I don't. I'm fine doing the show myself, but it is great when Johnny's here. This is entertaining when you have someone to talk to. You know, talking to the people in the chat. I'm grateful for you, but Johnny adds something to the show. He's funny and he's entertaining. And this is from Beer 30 Lacrosse $10 super sticker. Thank you. Everyone's great. Uh, a lot of questions about Vanessa. Johnny, are you dating Vanessa?
I haven't heard from her since that whole thing. You know what I do hear is her dragging furniture across the floor, and now I can't even go up there and yell at her because, when you make friends with someone like that or you make their acquaintance, you're kind of fucked, otherwise. And so now it's like I got to be nice about it. I hear stuff, I'll be like half asleep, like, or I hear tick, 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 kind of a tick, 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 tick. And I can't say anything. I messaged her like after all that shit went down. I'm like, so thanks for that, blah, blah, blah. How you liking everything else? And no reply. So she probably thinks I'm a pervert. And now I can't even, say, hey, you keep waking me up. Can you maybe take off your shoes when you walk across the wood floor?
Mhm. Yeah.
I just hate living around people, other people, like community living. Not for me.
All right. Okay. A lot of people
No,
still attempt to be funny, and it's tough. The funny is not for everybody. It's all right though.
no, no, it's not for everybody.
Johnny, a spirit medium emailed me. I haven't had a chance to respond. I'm very bad at emails, but I will tell you that spirit medium Daniel is aware that I have the ability, Johnny. I can speak to people and other beings, and I have a power. I have a secret power, if you will. Daniel can he knows, and he's willing to help train me to use my powers for good and not evil. I understand that with my power comes great responsibility, and
Oh,
I
geez.
think it would make a great episode next time we're in Tucson if I
I,
demonstrate my secret power.
I don't think they give that to the Jewish.
Well, I'm only half, so maybe my power
Oh,
is not. I don't know if you remember a TV show called The Greatest American Hero with William
I,
Cat.
I
He
do.
he found a suit to make him a superhero, but he lost the instruction book. That
Is
was
that
kind of
believe it or not? Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
that's right. Yeah.
We got a song in it, and that's enough. Did a version of it and sent it in. It was supposed to be like the new version. Got to
That's
record it.
great.
I sang on it. Yeah, it
You
never happened.
sang on the Greatest American Hero theme.
We did a version of it. They wanted me to sing. I did, and then before I knew it, Chip and Donnie weren't talking at the time, but enough to get him to come in and re-record it and take my vocals off, even though it sounded great. I think I have the copy somewhere.
I
It
would like to
sounds
hear it.
great.
I want
Yeah,
to clear up that
he's such a piece of
Spirit
shit.
Medium says that it's nothing to do with religion, which is good because I'm not religious, and it's not a superpower. So I apologize.
Well,
I like to
if
think
you
of it as a superpower.
listen, if
I
you had those
like to think.
powers,
Yeah.
you would have known that the pizza place closed at 9.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Anyway, listen, it's been great chatting with everyone, and I hope to do this again. I will tell you that there is a tour diary coming out on Monday. It was filmed in Oklahoma. Stephen Adler is in it. I found that it has some of the fun. It's a long one, but I find it has some of the funniest content yet. Johnny, and Matt Thorne all go for ice cream, and I laugh just thinking about it. And then we go and we take a tour of a venue where they tell us that we are not allowed to film in the casino, and I tell them I'm FaceTiming. So you can watch that this Monday.
yeah.
This Friday. It's a good one. This Friday you can watch me with Dave Rude. And if you missed the last tour diary, you're missing a lot of fun. Next stop, what's that place called? Willoughby.
What you?
Willoughby.
Willoughby. Next
Yes.
stop, Willoughby. No, Willoughby. What do you
JB
mean?
JB's 5 episodes behind. Some people think I'm putting out too much content. They think,
Oh, really? Well, it's a good thing. Then it doesn't matter what you think because you don't know anything about that. Because he's putting out stuff that you're supposed to put out. What's too much?
Mhm. And you can watch it anytime you want.
I
It's
just
there.
these
There's hundreds of
fucking
things.
people, man. I just can't with that.
Thank you for that. And Robert Sweet interview is coming soon as well. All right, Johnny. Let's talk like normal people. We've done this now for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it's enough. I have to go eat.
Enough is enough. Yeah. All right, here we go. Thank you all for watching. If someone's here is new, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you go to Johnny's social media and talk to him. Hannibal, Missouri. Your friend is going to come see us. We'll put him on the list. And blah 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 blah. Thank you for watching, and have a very wonderful.